Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ring Ready Live, the home of the owner handler, brought to you by Showsite Magazine. I'm Dan Sayers with Showsite, here once again with Lee Whittier, the dog show mentor. Lee, how are you on this fine Wednesday afternoon?
I am great, and it's starting to be winter here in the Pacific Northwest.
Finally, you've got your sweater weather, I guess, has
Yep.
arrived. That's what we call it here. I think that's what everybody calls it. Anyway, that's good to know. Lee, this is week 32 in our shared conversation with owner handlers. And today we're going to be talking about the blame game. Who's to blame when your dog doesn't win? But before we get to that, Lee, I would like to blame our viewers for helping us to create this community for owner handlers. And I want to blame them for making our show the success that it's become. And of course, when I say blame, I want to thank them for coming to us each and every week. Thank you for telling your friends and for inviting others to join us each and every Wednesday. I want to encourage you to tell other friends and have those friends tell friends. This is the home of the owner handler, as I've said, but it's really the home for everyone who is interested in showing purebred dogs in the conformation ring. So if you're tuning in with us this week, let us know where you're from. Let us know your breed. And this week, let us know who you blamed when your dog didn't win. So we're not going to dwell on the negative. We're sort of using blame to kind of get the conversation going. And Lee, we're going to need your help to kind of turn it around into a positive, and I know you can do that. You've got a few things at work with Dog Show Mentor. And last week and the week before, you told us about the new mastery program. Before we get started, do you want to remind everyone about that program?
Yes, I would love to. I'm very excited to announce the development of the Dog Show Mastery Program starting in January 2022. And it's going to be for a select group of owner handlers who really want to fire it up. So if that's you, you can contact me privately. I've had a couple people contact me already. Contact me, or you will see the application come up. I'm going to be sending out an email. So if you're on my email list, you'll see it there, and you also see it on my business page.
Thank you for that. I was going to ask you if you've heard from owner handlers already about the program. I'm not surprised to learn that you have. I would imagine there's going to be a long line for that very short list of applicants who are going to be accepted into the program. So if you're watching and you're thinking about joining Dog Show Mentor Mastery Program, reach out to Lee. As you said, Lee, there's many ways that we can get in touch with you and learn more about this program. Also, becoming a member of Dog Show Mentor. And I know you've got a Facebook group. A quick plug for that group, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Dog Show Mentor Owner Handlers. It's a free Facebook group where you can come and have some positive interaction and talk about what really has gone on for you. It's not just a place to brag, it's a place to reflect in a quiet and exciting location.
Always exciting. Not always quiet here at Ring Ready Live. In fact, we've got a lot of people chiming in. Michael from Ohio, hello. Jeannie from Iowa. Kimberly from California. Ear is back with us. Ginger is here again from St. Louis. Lori is here as well. And Megan is here from Florida. We're coast to coast here at Ring Ready Live. And again, we want to thank all of you for your participation, for your support. Really, when Ring Ready Live was launched 32 weeks ago, Lee and I had this idea about how to include all of you in a conversation about about your um, participation in and your loyalty to the sport and all of the things that matter to you. And we're so grateful, Lee, that everybody is continuing to show up every week. We're thrilled.
Well, we were talking when we started about how we wanted to, you know, get people involved in Ring Ready, and so that they could celebrate their wins, and no matter how big or small, in an exclusive place for owner handlers. And after we talked about that, then we started talking about, well, we could talk about the things that we're talking about in the magazine online so that we could have some interaction with other owner handlers. And that's sort of how this whole thing started. And now we've got people like Lori who's saying, I blamed pro handlers back in the day, but it was all my fault when I didn't win. Thank you, Lori. And so, yeah, I think that that's really where we started and where we still are, is that we want to give you that opportunity to be in celebration with your dogs, with your family, maybe with a breeding partner, a co-owner in the magazine. But we also we want to bring that to you here. So sometimes we talk about things in this Facebook Live that we've written about in the magazine. So you could always go there and read more about it. You can go online, you can get a copy at a show, you can subscribe. What a concept, you can subscribe, right? We have a lot of subscribers. It's
Yes, we
amazing.
do.
So that's where this whole thing started. So please do keep telling your friends, because this is where it's at for owner handlers.
This is the place, Ring Ready Live. You know, you use the word celebrate. We use that, I think, virtually every week, that we're here to celebrate the owner handler. And I was thinking maybe celebrate is sort of the antonym of blame. Not exactly, but when your dog is beaten, it's often the first response is to lay blame somewhere. So some of us may blame the judge for not understanding our breed or our dog. Some may blame the other handlers. Maybe we think that other handlers have played a dirty trick, or maybe we blame the ring layout. Maybe the ring is too small for our dog. Maybe the loudspeaker went off at the wrong time. Maybe the weather doesn't suit my dog. Blame, blame, blame. That's very easy to do. But is it really, A, is it productive? And B, I guess the question is, instead of blaming, where do we go, Lee?
What are
Instead,
your options? Absolutely. And I'd like to hear from all of you. What are your options to blaming? And my biggest answer to this in my group is take responsibility for whatever happened and figure out a way to solve the problem. So showing dogs is sometimes, and particularly for young dogs, is continual problem solving. It's puzzling things out. It's figuring out where you're gonna change things. How are you gonna switch this up? Where do you need to train more? Where do you need to put less emphasis for your dog? And sometimes dogs get too much emphasis on one single thing, and you have to get them off that. So instead of blaming the situation that happened, you can start taking responsibility and really figuring it out and looking at it like a puzzle, right? Making it fun to figure out, okay, and even writing things down,
hmm,
um, or some people like to use a spreadsheet. Some people like to use Google Sheets. Some people like to put it in a journal. Whatever it is for you, that how you like to problem solve in your own life, just look at it as something to be solved. What do you think of that, Dan?
I love it. The puzzle is a perfect analogy. Each of our dogs that we show as owner handlers are a new puzzle to be solved. We've got some comments here. Sandy says that she wouldn't call external interferences and conditions like loudspeakers, or if a dog fight breaks out, God forbid, something that she would blame. She said she'd rather use it as a learning tool. And maybe that tool could be, okay, rather than blame that external interference, what part of the puzzle can I solve? And that reminds me of an incident where I was behind a dog that was really just acting up in a breed ring once, really just going over the top, out of control. And I used that as an opportunity to reassure my dog in a very calm way by not responding whatsoever. And it would have been very easy for my dog to have been elevated to that same energy level. But the two of us just stayed calm. And quite frankly, I wasn't expecting that. But I realized when I stayed calm, my dog stayed calm. So that was an example of an external interference that was a learning tool, Sandy, in that case. Um, Carolyn also says, I always want to know what I could have done or do to improve, but never know how or when to approach the judge for the proper feedback. Lee, I'm not sure if you're still there. You're kind of frozen on my screen, but we
Yeah,
talked about this in an
you were
earlier.
frozen too for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, so Carolyn was just talking about feedback, and I suppose that that's one way to improve your puzzle with your dog is getting feedback from the judge. But that's assuming that you're not laying blame on the
Right.
judge's decision. Um, and we have an episode of Ring Ready Live where we talk about um, speaking to the judge when or when not to, or as often as not to. Um, anyway, Sarah and Maureen, thank you for your participation. Sarah says that I have a show tribe, which I love. I love that expression. Go show tribe. And we tend to have someone Facebook Live our breed, and I go back and watch the videos and study what my dog and I did and see what we need to work on. Lee, what do you think of that right there?
Okay. So
That's
can you hear me
genius.
now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. It's always frustrating when you're frozen when you don't know when you've unfrozen, right? Um, so I, I want to go back to what Carolyn said about wanting to approach the judge to see what she could do better. And um, I always think there's tremendous value in figuring out yourself what you could do better, right? So what is it that you could do to examine your presentation and the presentation of the other dogs? Because don't forget, it's not just about you.
Hmm.
It's about all the dogs in the ring. And sometimes it's not about your dog. It's about somebody else's dog really is a better dog. Even if you have a good one, even if you have a great one, somebody else's dog could be even better. So figuring that out, puzzling it, teasing it apart, and getting to the essence of what it could have been is so constructive for you as a handler, right? As a handler, as an exhibitor. And I love Lori. Fortune favors the prepared. Bravo. And Sarah, that's wonderful that you have your own Facebook Lives, and some shows don't allow you to, but yeah, good.
Lee, just a moment ago, you talked about the other dogs in the ring, and that's true. Sometimes when we are in the ring with our own dog, we are so focused on our dog for all the right reasons. But you're right, in doing so, we miss all of the other dogs and everything that you as a judge is seeing. So yes, maybe our dog is having the best day that it's ever had and looking its finest. But you're right, there could be another dog or two or three that may be having an even better day, maybe even better examples of the breed, as you said, in your opinion as a judge. And in that case, there's nothing to blame. In fact, that would be, I would think, a reason to celebrate that you were in such good company and that your dog showed so well. Of course, I would have rather the win, but to be in that company. Um, again, is reason I think to celebrate, especially if there's been a great performance. And if not, then, I've got more pieces of that puzzle to work on.
My
What are you
rant,
reading there?
Peg says, my rant today is about a professional handler and judge who continues to run up on my dog, making her break Kate. I get fuming mad. What can I do about this ongoing problem? Okay. Yes, a lot of people have had that problem. And I wanted to, let's see, I saw something in here that caught my eye. Debbie Peterson, ultimately blame falls on myself because I didn't handle to the level. I'm sorry, it keeps shifting, so I can't read it. To the level my dog is at. I really want to speak to that, Debbie, because it's so valuable. It's such a great insight. So sometimes you have a really good dog and you're showing it like it's somebody's backyard dog, right?
Mm,
So that's so important to show your dog like it's the best thing in the world, right? This is the best dog. And you're thrilled. And you can't wait to show it to this judge. And that excitement and fun and the respect that you have for your dog is going to shine through. And I happen to know that you have a breed that's not super showy, but you can still up your game with that dog. And so thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. All right.
I don't know. Did you want to get back to Peg's comment? I see that there was a
Oh,
bit of a conversation going there. Peg has a rant about the.
yeah. Well, I don't do rants. Sorry.
There you go.
I just don't do them. All right. So what else have we got going today, Dan?
Well, I think that if I can get back to Susan's comments, she's saying that I frequently steward and I see people getting outhandled, such as fiddling with the dog's rear when the judge is taking another look at all the fronts and their dog is standing askew up front, or lifting ears to show off a less than great neck because all the handlers did it when maybe trying to show off the beautiful headpiece. Um, I take,
Copying.
yeah, I
But you
take what
don't right, but you don't know what you're copying. You're just monkey see,
you're just
monkey
going through
do.
the. And in doing so, your dog looks really poor when your dog needs to look its best. Your dog can look a mess when the judge is looking right at your dog, and you don't even realize that. Maybe that's where that Facebook Live that one of our viewers does with her tribe would come in handy. That maybe if we all saw ourselves fussing at the on the wrong place on the dog at the wrong time, maybe we would realize how we are just giving it away. And I know that that's something that you don't like to see exhibitors do, is just give away the win by making these tactical errors at the wrong time. And you're right. As often as not, we're just going through the motions, and then we walk out of the ring with our red ribbon, our yellow ribbon, or no ribbon at all. And the first thing that we often do is we blame. Maybe we blame the dog. Maybe we blame this handler, that handler. Maybe we are ranting unnecessarily, but really it's an opportunity to kind of reassess and understand maybe that what's that expression when you're pointing a finger, there's three fingers pointing back at yourself. Take responsibility, accountability, and figure out how you can do it better tomorrow, and walk out of that ring celebrating, because your dog is waiting for you for you. Is that fair to say that your dog knows you've been to classes, you've been to shows, you've had your successes, and your dog is waiting for you and he or she to become consistent team. And um, and uh, yeah, the blame. I think there's some of our comments here are saying that the blame lies with ourselves, with the owner handler. That as often as not, the win was given away because of something that we did or didn't do.
Right. So shifting again, if we look at it, um, and this is something that um, I do with my group. So if instead of saying blame, if we say, well, what if, and turn it into a positive in that way, and really take it on as a challenge. If you're not ready for a challenge, you're not a competitive person,
Mm.
and sometimes maybe some other sport might be better suited. But I think that if we turn it into a what if, make it into a challenge, and make it into a fun challenge, as I said before, and move off of the blame and onto the aha, what if I did it like this? It changes the whole thing. I mean, your energy changes, the feeling that you have around being in the ring and walking out of the ring, all of that changes. All of that becomes more. One of my people calls it her. Oh, come on, it's like a war cry, right?
Mm.
Or so so that when we start moving into the higher levels of working together, we start moving into that excitement of understanding things at a deeper level, that we're not just standing there running around in left circles. We're not just stacking one leg at a time in the 3 or 4 second stack, right? We're doing something totally different with that energetic of aha, okay, the aha moment, right? Aha. So what if dot dot dot. And that's where you want to be if you're going to be successful. That's that moment.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Lee, as you were talking, I was just thinking of all of the shows that we've had where you've touched on those things. We've had 30-minute shows around probably 10 of the things that you just shared. That what if, which is a dog show mentorism. I've been working with you long enough to know now that what if is something I'm always going to hear from you in a conversation, because you are an example of what if. Not blame, not woe is me, not oh it's that person's fault, or this person or that dog is jeopardizing me, but what if I changed my thinking? What if I reassessed? What if I tried new methodologies? What if I did a blue ribbon blueprint? what if
What if
i
I had a coach, right?
what if I had a coach who would help me to understand what I'm doing from a judge's perspective, from a breeder's perspective? What if I were to go over my breed's standard? What if I went back to basics and started at square one? There's so many what ifs that can lead us all to a successful course that have no room for blame whatsoever.
I love what Sandy is saying here about how on Sunday she took a totally different mental approach and had fun, and um, and she got the major. She finished her dog with a third 5-point major on Sunday.
Wow.
Congratulations, Sandy.
Well done, Sandy. Congratulations. I was just thinking about you have a show. Um, well, there's several articles about the Olympics and a show that we did for Ring Ready Live. And I was thinking about all the Olympians where you often see them with earbuds on, and they're getting their head into it. There's no place in there for what happened in the earlier heat or in the earlier dive. They are, it's a whole new moment. And it sounds like that's what Sandy did from one day to the next, and it made the difference. What if we just changed our mental faculties, our idea? Maybe what if we walked into the ring with a celebratory heart rather than a blaming mindset? You know, what if we
Well,
change?
there's a little bit of war cry too there, you know.
There is. And I know just the coach that can help any owner handler to figure out how to go from blame to celebration with certainty.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah. It may not happen as quickly as from Saturday to Sunday, but it might. The journey that
It
we
might be a
take,
year. It might be a year-long program.
it might be something called mastery. I don't
Mhm.
know. It also may be showing up every Wednesday to Ring Ready Live to just hear what we have to say and to hear what your fellow owner handlers have to say, because the beauty of this medium is that we can all participate. We all can't be on the screen talking over one another, but we certainly can be sharing our experiences, giving a high five to other owner handlers and offering suggestions, and maybe even just saying, I don't know how to do anything but blame. Help me. I've been blaming others for my predicament for so long. I need a mentor. I need to reevaluate and readjust. And as importantly, your dog needs that as well. If you're running up against the same roadblocks.
Yeah, I noticed here that we have some people who are down in Alcala. So, hello, Floridians, and those of you who have gone there, and that's fun and exciting. I wonder, I'm going to do something at the end. We've got just a couple minutes here. And in documentary, we do something called takeaways. And most of you know what that is. If you don't, it is one word or phrase where you tell us what is it that you got out of this. And so Dan and I would love to hear before you leave, what did you get out of this? What what did you take away from this? What sparkled for you? What was the one thing you're like, aha, yeah. So let's see. Hope to get there late tonight. Hey, Nikki. All right. Anybody want to go? Because we really are. We're into we want you to get self-evaluation. Thanks, Denise. Yeah. Who else?
I want to say hi to Terry. Hello, Terry and Joshua. Megan's here every week with us. Always good to have you participate. Allison is saying, Lee, that every time, or she thinks every time she's in the ring, it is time for her to connect with her dog and present in a better way each time.
Nice, Allison. Nice. Having the right attitude. Great. Having a team to film. You bet, Mary. You bet. And Megan says, I've learned so much from Ring Ready, and that's why we're here. So thank you.
Yes. We're here every Wednesday. We're here in the magazine every month. Less stress and more fun with your dog.
That's right.
That's something.
Confident.
Imagine if we could just have more fun with our dogs.
Yeah, there's a whole segment on reducing stress on a continual basis in Dog Show Mastery. Lori says, always good to reflect on how far I've come. My attitude is 180 degrees. Yeah. Thank you. Nikki, show your dog to its full potential like you're there to win best in show. Yes, Nikki. Yes. Yes, Linda. Are you prepared for... Yes, Linda. Are you prepared for the level your dog is at?
And Angela says, always finding at least one thing that we learn at each show. If we don't go home with a win, but we learn something that is a win in and of
That's
itself.
right.
I do agree with you, Angela.
Focusing on showcasing your dog's assets, minimizing faults, even though our dogs are perfect. Oh, disappearing Dan. Thank you all so much for being here. We will see you again next week. Dan has come back. Thank you.
I'm not going to let you get away with saying goodbye without me.
I just
Again,
wanted to say goodbye for a change.
oh, okay. Well, I'll let you have the floor. Go right ahead.
No, it's all right.
Well, I'm glad to be back. And again, I want to thank all of you for participating. And Lee, I want to thank you for asking for those takeaways. That's been really invaluable this week to see what all of you have to say. Yes, this has been an interesting topic, one of 32 that you can find on YouTube. If you are sitting at home late at night and you're bored and you don't know what to watch, just talk into your remote control and say Ring Ready Live on YouTube, and Lee and Dan are going to show up, and you'll be able to watch all 32 episodes that we have in the file thus far. And we talk about everything from how not to blame to how to, well, you're going to have to go to Ring Ready Live to see all of our episodes.
That's right.
And we'd love to have you leave a comment if you do go. And if there's a subject that is of interest to you that maybe we have yet to cover, by all means let us know. Lee and I are always happy to consider topics for discussion. We've got 52 weeks a year. Somehow we've managed 32 weeks to find new and interesting and informative topics. Lee, as the dog show mentor, is always here to help you with the what ifs with your owner handler journey. Lee, I know that you've helped me with mine each and every week, and I mean that sincerely. So, again, on behalf of Lee, the Dog Show Mentor, and Showsite Magazine, I'm Dan Sayers. Thank you all for joining us. Look forward to coming back next week when it's just going to be me. Lee is going to be en route to a cluster in North Carolina. So, Lee, I'll miss you, but safe travels. And we will be back the following week together, the day before Thanksgiving here in the U.S. And
And
if
I
you're,
trust you, Dan. I trust you.
thank you. Looking forward to next week's show. Tune in to
It'll
find
be
out
fun.
what Dan has to talk about next week. But
It was a big hit last time.
well, yeah, let's see if I can do a repeat here. Anyway, again, I'll miss you, Lee. But again, thank you for your time. Thank you all. And until we get together again, remember to have fun with your dogs in the ring.
See you in the winner's circle. Bye for
Bye,
now.
everyone.